Hi folks, thanks for joining me for today's Innsmouth excursion. I'm currently in Leeds. There's actually a small group of us from the Bedford Gladiators War Games Club come up because there's a war game show going on in the building just over there, Fiasco. But of course you can't come to Leeds with having a look around the Leeds Armoury. Now, in terms of strange or paranormal activity, museums are usually a great place to go looking for that sort of thing. However, Leeds Armoury was built in 1996, so it's a very modern building. So the actual building itself is probably, it's not had much time to accumulate anything. The exhibits, however, that is a very different story, because a lot of the stuff in here came from the Tower of London and various other places. As you can imagine, that includes some quite grisly items, and that's what we're going to take a look at today. So I'm in the self-defence gallery, which covers the sort of history of civilian self-defence, if you like, but also includes some of those more gruesome items from the tower. So coming up to the self-defence gallery, we first get this section, which is all fantasy weapons, and we've got replicas here of swords from the Lord of the Rings movies, Strider's and Boromir's swords, and there's Frodo's sting. Got some Lancelot armour. This was used in the film Excalibur, and I believe that's made of aluminium, so it's reasonably light for the actor to wear. Now, if you're talking about armour and helmets, probably one of the most iconic is Darth Vader's helmet, and this is nice. We can see some ideas that went into the design of that helmet. We go from that Japanese sort of medieval samurai look. There's a medieval sallet and a Second World War German steel helmet as well. And I think you can see an influence of all of those in the classic design there. Here we've got some stunt weapons. So these swords are actually retractable. You might just be able to see on the end there the little end part, which obviously goes back into the main blade. So you can stab at a fellow actor without fear or worry. And here we've got some other props. If you want that effect of having the weapon actually sticking in someone, now you can see how it's done. Or I guess these days it's also a lot of CGI, but these are your old real-time props. And some more Star Wars props. We have Galactic Empire and Rebel Alliance blasters, and then again, the real item that was based on, the British Sterling submachine gun. Back into historical fiction, and now we've got some medieval props, a bassinet helmet and a string malcoif. And apparently the actor under this would wear a knitted string mail hood. Again, that's going to be much lighter, much more comfortable for filming. And then we've got the open face and a barbuta. So a double thing here in actual use. Of course, the open face would give more visibility to the wearer and be slightly more comfortable to wear. And in acting terms, it allows us to see the actor's face, of course. Oh, and this is nice. Look at these two props here. So these are from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen movie, which of course started life as it was an Alan Moore graphic novel. And what we have here is a Nautilus crew submachine gun and Captain Nemo's pistol, looking very sort of futuristic in a Jules Vernean kind of way. And below those we have this wonderful item. This is a vampire killing kit. So we've got a selection of stakes, a mallet, we've got a pistol, a crucifix. Presumably the pistol is going to have some silver balls or silver bullets. We've got a larger crucifix there, looks like there's a small Bible, and I'm guessing those jars are filled maybe with garlic or holy water, all in a lovely made-to-measure case. I think you can actually buy these still today. I mean, again, used a lot in films, particularly things like Fright Night. Now this is the self-defense gallery, so a lot of the weapons here now, the real weapons, are what people would use and carry in days of old to defend themselves. And here we see why this poor chap getting set upon by a group of vagabonds doesn't look like it's going to come to a good end, does it? I'm not sure if they're thieves or cut purses or if they just took a dislike to him. But anyway, what we have here, mostly from 16th century, is a fine selection of actual swords and weapons that people would carry. Mostly rapiers, we've got the left-hand daggers, a couple of back swords, and a rather nice buckler there with a very pointy spike in the middle of it. Here we have some more modern versions of the sort of weapons that people might carry. Much less aesthetically pleasing to look at, but of course it's all gruesome stuff. Knife, broken bottle, screwdriver, fist, boot. I wonder if that's a steel-toe cap boot. I used to have a pair of steel-toed Dr. Martens myself back in the day. Baseball bat. That looks like a chair leg, probably with a nail stuck in it. Yeah, there's a nail stuck in it. Some rope and WD-40 and some matches. Presumably that's like a homemade flamethrower thing. I'm not sure I fancy giving that a go. So if you do something wrong, you get arrested, you get sent to jail. And back in the day, it was important to arm even the prison guards. And what we have here is a pair of swords. We've got a prison officer's sword and scabbard, and what is also called a prison or police sword. These are from 1875, so classic sort of Victorian era. They remind me a bit of the sort of naval swords, you know, those short swords for boarding actions, which I guess they were used in confined spaces quite often. And there's the reason why. We've got a picture there of an attack on a prison warder. This is largely because by 1850 the prison population had expanded rapidly because there were less hangings and transportation had stopped, so there was a huge increase in the prison population. We even have here a centre-fire shotgun. That's called the Grima police gun. That was also issued to prison guards and some colonial police. And that had a special cartridge, so it couldn't be stolen and used with ordinary shotgun ammunition. Of course, the invention of firearms led to the demise of people carrying swords, and it was much easier, probably much more effective to carry a pistol or a revolver such as these. So we've got a pepperbox revolver, 6-shot pepperbox revolver, and what's called a percussion or transitional revolver. These are all from around sort of 1850. So again, Victorian. And when people talk about crime today, they often forget just how lawless Britain could be in the past. We've got another one of these nice pictures here. I guess they're taken from old engravings of, I'm not quite sure if he's a highwayman or if he's just taken a dislike to this chap in the top hat. Because the crowd behind seems to be cheering him on a bit there, so I'd be interested to know what the backstory is behind that one. We've got some modern police headgear here and sets of handcuffs. And we've got a selection of truncheons here as well. Look at this one, 1825. That's quite a whopper, isn't it, that? That's very long. And what's that, George IV on there, does it say? Yeah, King George IV. Then we've got a presentation truncheon. This is from 1920. This was given to special constables who volunteered. And then there's a 1980s police truncheon and a modern expanding truncheon. This is almost identical. I've got my granddad's truncheon because he served in London, in East London, as a police officer in the sort of, well, 40s, 50s, 60s, I guess. So that and his truncheon looks pretty much exactly the same as that, so that design didn't change for many, many years. Now, one aspect of civilians carrying swords and guns around was the tradition of the duel, of course. If you had a beef with someone back in the day and you were of a certain social standing, you might challenge them to a duel. So this could be with swords, and we've got some nice dueling rapiers here, a small sword. These all date from the 17th century. Or of course later on the duel would be with pistols. I guess that's the old stand back to back, take 10 paces, turn and fire. I'm not sure how accurate these guns were, but I think they did used to stand side on, didn't they, to pretend less of a target. So obviously they could do some damage and kill if they hit the right spot. These are all flintlocks from the late 18th, early 19th century. So I hope you enjoyed that quick look around. Just one part, this is really just one gallery of the museum. It really is a fantastic place. It's over 4 floors. They have tournaments and jousting and all sorts of activities going on here, pirate activities, a whole ton of stuff. So it really is a great day out, not only if you're into history and military history, but for the whole family as well. Just our usual reminder, if you're into weird fiction and horror and that kind of thing, please do give a listen to the Innsmouth Book Club, our fortnightly podcast, and also take a listen to Strange Shadows, our Clark Ashton Smith podcast as well. So that's it for today. Please do like, share and subscribe. I'm off down to the shop. I've seen a couple of interesting items in there. A couple of things have caught my eye. Perhaps I'll buy one. I'll be wearing it next time. Who knows? Anyway, see you soon.